Hello and welcome to Beyonka's Playhouse. I am here live inside of Beyonka's Playhouse Studios with the beautiful Miss Gabby.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, Miss Gabby.
Hi.
You are gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
So
are you?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. I am so honored to have you inside of Beyonka's Playhouse.
I'm so honored to be here.
I love to have the ladies inside of the Playhouse. We have a lot of gentlemen that come to the Playhouse, and I love all of you so very much. However, it's a pleasure to have another lady because then we can kind of cut up a little bit.
Yeah.
And we can kind of talk about things.
We have more common.
Exactly.
Yeah.
we
get
can
into that.
Right. And so tonight is ladies' night inside of the Playhouse, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to be talking about things pertaining to relationships, sex, all of those good things. So I think it should be fun tonight.
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm ready to have a good time.
Good.
I'm ready to divulge.
Yes. So you came ready to the Playhouse.
Yes.
So before we even get started, had you ever heard about Beyonka's Playhouse before?
No, I hadn't before just hearing that I was going to be coming on the show, and I checked it out, and it looks really sexy and really fun. So
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all you.
Thank you so very much. Yeah, when I got the phone call about you coming on the show, I was extremely excited. I was like, okay, some models, okay, because ironically, I am doing a model call soon for a fashion show.
Okay,
so my agent, right. Shout out to Tay. Tay was like, oh, you want to get some model? I'm like, yes. He's like, I got the perfect ones for you. I already got some for you. And I was like, okay, we're gonna see. Let's hope you don't send nobody over here that just want to be a model. You know, you got some. Like, well, my homegirl said that I was cute.
And she takes pictures of me. So.
Right. So, but he said, yeah, right. He sent me your first picture. He sent me one picture, and immediately I was like, wow, she's beautiful.
Thank you.
So I was extremely excited about you coming and just getting to know you.
Yeah. I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome. So I'm going to just tell you, Beyonka's Playhouse is that one place where you can have an interview on a more intimate level. You can, it's no filter. You can pretty much tell.
Interview.
Exactly, right. And in the Playhouse, anything kind of goes, and you can do almost anything and talk about almost anything inside the Playhouse. So tonight we're going to talk about you, and we're going to also talk about, we have a little visitor. She just wants to sit with you, producer. Come on. You want to come over here? That's what she wants. She's like, no. I know, come on, you can come because you're cute. So come on, before we get bad and start being bad girls, we can have you come on and tell everybody who you are. Look, she's like, no, I don't even think so. I'm going to go back.
So now you met her, and now we can hear about it.
Right, she's like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and play with the other. No, I'm not. I'm going to come back. You're so cute. Come here. Let me tell everybody who you are. You gonna come? Look. Oh, you're so sweet. You gonna come and sit in my lap? Oh my gosh. Y'all know Beyonka is good with the kids because I have like 30 of them of my own. Hey, little pretty girl. You want to tell everybody who you are? You on TV? You see yourself? What's your name? Fifi?
Phoenix.
You excited? You see yourself? Mommy? You're so pretty. Yeah, she's right over there. So is it okay if Mommy has a few moments with me and we can talk about some stuff?
Yeah, we're gonna do some work, and then we'll see you later. Okay.
Okay. All right. Say bye bye to everybody.
Bye.
Look, say bye bye to those people there.
Bye.
Go have fun, okay?
I'll see you soon. Mwah.
Oh, she is gorgeous. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
So one of the outcomes of being inside the Playhouse is you have one of those. Some of the people, especially after tonight, you might have one of those. But as beautiful as Miss Gabby is,
ladies' night,
right?
We all have
the babies. I have a whole lot of them.
Yeah. well, it's either that you have a baby or that you might be having a baby soon.
Yes, or that she might be having one soon. Look, oh my goodness, I think she's gonna be like, I want to stay in this camera. You want to stay in the camera? You want to stay there and play? Oh, she likes the camera. I think she's like, I didn't see that on TV before.
She's a little star.
I can only imagine. Do you think she's gonna get her into modeling as well?
Yes, I think so. I'm actually gonna try to get her started before it gets to where people are trying to pressure her to be skinny and telling her like all these really bad things about herself, and just get her out before then. So we're talking like 4 to 6 and get her started with a trust fund.
Exactly, right?
And have her have like a normal life.
That's perfect.
Yeah, but she can do anything that she wants to do. You know, I feel like if she wants to, I do music. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'm a musician. So if she wants to do that, then that would be amazing. But if she wants to play sports, if she wants to just be a brilliant genius, that's cool too.
Which I'm sure she will be.
Yeah, I always tell her you can do anything.
Yeah.
You can win a Nobel Prize, you go to the Olympics, and I feel like we all have to believe that.
Definitely. And if our mom tells us, then we really believe it. Like, as long as mommy's telling me I'm amazing, then I know that I'm amazing. And so it's important that she Exactly. And no one can tell you any different. Yeah. So as we see, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Gabby is an awesome mom. And before we even get to meet her all the way, you guys have already seen that she's an awesome mom. Where I told you it's a more intimate interview than that. So tonight, you guys, if you read the caption, for those will follow on both YouTube as well as Facebook. If you read the caption, you see tonight is Ladies' Night, and tonight we're going to be talking about different topics pertaining to relationships. So I had some interesting conversations this week. I had a gentleman tell me that one of the reasons women cheat, 90% of the reason women cheat is because of sex. That they, yes!
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so we're going to get into that, and you guys can, Miss Gabby, I'm calling her Gabby. Miss Phoenix is back. I'm telling you guys, now that she knows she's on camera, she's just going to be in and out of here like, let me see how I look now. That's how you know she's going to be comfortable in front of the camera. So, but yeah, he
switch it from like X.
Yes, we're going to keep on. Yeah. We're going to keep on flowing back and forth, ladies and gentlemen. But also with relationships.
Can I just say it's not working?
Oh, okay. But it's on there, right?
No.
Or we're not on there?
No.
Not on Facebook?
No.
At all?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. So
I'm just talking to myself? Oh, we're not on YouTube?
Well,
I guess we're having
6 people watching.
Oh, okay. Okay, so listen, my producer behind the camera, she's always trying to give me some direction. So ladies and gentlemen via Facebook, if you guys see me right now, if you hear me right now, and you just saw everything that just happened and transpired, just let me know by commenting in the comments below that you are aware of everything. I can't, what is going on here? We just want to make sure that we're not we're definitely streaming live via YouTube right now. We just want to make sure that our stream is live. I'm streaming live from Facebook right now. So let me know if you guys see the show. Okay, is anybody saying anything?
You know what? It might just be my phone. I don't want to name names, but I have T-Mobile. And
oh my goodness, I do too. Don't feel bad. I do too.
It might just not be popping up.
Yes. So, producer, why don't you go and check with the other networks and see if we're streaming, if it's streaming properly. But while you're checking, we're just gonna keep going real quick so that we can, be good. So. While they're streaming, while they're going to check on some things. So tonight we're going to be talking about all these good relationship topics and giving you the woman's perspective, especially since I had that comment. I thought that was insane. And I said, well, maybe
it's not even mean, because I feel like all cheating is either going to be sex or be sex related. So does he mean that women cheat because they're not happy with the sex that they're having?
Yeah.
Oh
that's
my
what it
God.
seems. Yeah. Like, and I know. I said the same thing.
Ridiculous.
I was like, what
If he's not doing something right, then you guide him to what he's supposed to do. And
yes.
if women cheat because of everything else.
I'm so glad you said that, right? Because I'm like, I know it's not just me. Like, that is insane.
Simplify it that much. I feel like that.
No, for the percentage to be that high in his mind.
Yeah.
And I'm saying in his mind, I love you if you're watching, but I'm saying in his mind because I'm a gal, you know, I'm a lady, and I have been around plenty of women in my lifetime, and I've never ever met a woman who said, oh yeah, my man's sex is so whack that I'm just gonna go out here and sleep with somebody else.
No,
ever.
Absolutely not.
Ever.
I used to be a cheater a long time ago. I was not an honest person. I have since reformed, but yeah, but there was a time where I cheated on a few people who I dated, and it was never because of just the sex. That would be that. I mean, what's the point? Oh my gosh!
It's on there.
You're not gonna ruin a good relationship for sex.
Exactly. I don't see that happening. Especially when things like this can come from those relationships. Things like Little Phoenix can come from those situations.
Yeah.
But also, so tonight we're also going to be talking about what are the relationship requirements that women have? Like, what do you think women actually require in relationships? You know, because of course, again, it is, I would think, perceived to be that she has a sippy cup. Usually we have wine. Tonight we have a sippy cup, a juice because I got the wine. I don't want one. but yeah, so relationship requirements, like what a woman is actually looking for when it comes to being with a man, what she expects from a man. So I think that would be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's four things. It's four just characteristics, and he has to be smart, handsome, because you have to be attracted to the person who you're gonna be with physically.
Yeah.
So smart, handsome, kind, and brave.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
Those are really good characteristics. Oh my goodness!
And I feel like I'm out here being beautiful, smart, kind, and brave. And
yes.
So why can't I expect that? But then past that, I don't care what he does. If somebody doesn't necessarily have a lot of money yet, if they're smart and they're brave enough to take the chances to make that money, they're gonna get there.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody is smart and handsome, then they're probably gonna be funny and be able to make you laugh, because handsome people are usually
good chemistry. Good chemistry with the person, I believe,
exactly.
brings you all that. You know, you get the nice laughter and the. She's like, where's?
This is what it is being a working mother.
It really is. It really is. Hey, you got
great.
You know, I'm gonna put her on Just Mommy and Me's page as well, because and it's very brave. You know, like, listen, I'm going to still do this. I'm going to make sure. And you know, I think it's so important when you have a daughter to allow your daughter to see that you're willing to continue to push your passion and pursue your dreams, no matter what. So I think that's so awesome.
You know what else I would like to talk about right now?
Awesome.
In terms of that is there is a stigma for women having children in especially like hip hop culture, like the thing of like, oh, she's 21 and no kids. Right now.
Yes.
And I've heard that pop up in music quite a few times of it being a virtue to not have any kids. And one that makes young mothers out here, young single mothers who are trying to find a partner who may or may not have kids of his own, that makes them resent their own kids.
Exactly.
Yeah, and if you're looking for a wife, like you say you are, like you claim to be, then the fact that she already has a kid, you can see what kind of mother she is.
Exactly.
You know, so it's not even a question of like, oh well, is she going to be a good mom? And I understand the thing of taking kids excuse me, taking care of kids who are somebody else's. You know, I've done that too, and it's hard. It's harder.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah, definitely.
But I feel like it's definitely better to find a woman who can be a good mother and who can be a good mother than somebody who may have had who knows how many abortions or
yes.
is I mean,
because it's unfortunate.
She might be lucky enough to not have a kid at 21, but that doesn't mean that she's pure or anything
people
that
having
people
children at
associate
a
with that.
young age actually grounds them. It actually motivates them.
Yeah,
it pushes
absolutely.
them. There are some teens. I've been a counselor and an advocate for kids in group homes and foster care for a long time.
Yeah.
And I've met some teens who just live life carelessly.
Right.
And fearlessly without purpose. You know, they just didn't understand their purpose. So they just pretty much just did whatever, got in fights, stole, robbed people, did all kind of bad things, and then they got pregnant and it changed their entire life.
Yeah.
And then they started cleaning up their act and they went back to school and they got a job and they did things because they knew that they had this child that they had to take care of. Yeah. And now there's this person who actually needs them and wants them and cares about what they do and what they don't do. You know what I mean? And believes in them no matter what. So so that's definitely the twist of it, So I see posts like that all the time. I'm in women groups and I even see some women like they make posts and they'll say something like, I'm 20 something and I have no kids. How many women can say that? Or, and it's like, oh my gosh, like I'm not boasting that when I go on and I'm saying like I'm a single mom with 9 kids. Because I say things like that sometimes, but it's not that I'm boasting or trying to make somebody else feel bad, but it's like, you wanna just celebrate the fact that you're still able to do things and able to be motivated and able to move. So when I see posts like that, especially from other women, I just pretty much say like, oh, okay, well, maybe you're trying to motivate yourself, maybe you're motivating yourself because, okay, I'm 26 and I don't have any kids and I'm going to school, I have a good job. And it's like, oh, okay, but for a mom with 9 kids, I'm young, was a young mom. I'm like, okay, well, are you trying to talk about moms that do have kids, or are you just trying to motivate yourself?
I feel like anytime that somebody talks down about somebody else, then it's because they feel bad about themselves, So what are you worried about? If you're worried about me having kids, and you're worried about if no kids, I think it's just that self-motivation. Like, let me motivate myself by talking about, my difference. Like, oh, I don't have kids. And I see a lot of women that have kids. And the funny thing is, though, ladies and gentlemen, what I have noticed, though, is that women that don't have kids, and they can be 30 and not have any children, they still go through the same struggles relationship-wise that women with kids go through. Absolutely. So it doesn't change. I don't think it changes the dynamics of the men that they attract, or the men that, will be with them or be loyal to them or be faithful to them. So it's like, you can be like, oh, well, I don't have any kids and, I have all of this going on and my man cheated on me and I'm single too, like, oh. I still want to go for fuckboys. Right? Which I love that word. I love the word fuckboy because we finally have an equivalent to the word hoe. Or slut. Right! Yeah. Oh my God! Did you guys ever think about that? Yes! I love it.
You know what? I never even thought of it that way. But that is so awesome, huh? I'm so sorry. My producers are just out of line today. IJS. Let me just throw that out there. Usually they're on point, but today they're just all over the place. So you guys have to forgive me if we're just like stopping and starting. However, you guys, I know I usually tell you this in the beginning of the live, but I just thought about it. Maybe I need to remind you absolutely right now. But you guys, please go down to the right-hand corner of your screen. You guys, you should see that little share button. Hit that share button. I'm going to direct you. Hit the share button, and then it's going to say share now. You're going to share now. And then you are going to invite your right? And then invite invite your friends to the live so that they can be a part of this awesome show tonight with Miss Gabby. So we're just sitting here having a little ladies talk and talking about different relationship topics and things. Are there some comments? Oh, okay. I see your face over there, producer, looking a little strange. But you guys can comment now. You can read in the bar above that describe the show, the description for the show, and you can see what the show is about tonight. And if you have a take on that, you guys can definitely comment in the comment below and tell us what your take is on those different questions that I have in the status above. But right now, I want to get to know Miss Gabby a little bit better and allow you guys the opportunity to get to know Miss Gabby a little bit better as well. So, okay, you have one thing to say? Then the producer eating, that's just a mess. I don't know what to say about that.
Scream, Kanaya said, amazing.
Oh, thank you, Pooh. I love you.
Ryan Johnson said, I'm ready to find out what women want.
You ready to find out what women want? Are you sure? I think we should make you wait just a little bit longer so you can get to know Miss Gabby first, and then I'll tell you what women want.
Ryan Johnson also said, me, Gabby has a great smile.
Oh,
and then it's a lot of people saying see and hear.
Oh, you guys are waiting. So listen, I mean, we're going to talk about what women want from our perspective, but we also want to hear about what you want, what you think women want. So gentlemen, don't just look and listen, even though we do like for you to be quiet.
Kyrie Smith put the heart eyes.
Dang, I just thought about that. Like, wait, did I tell them when to talk?
Yeah.
I did.
You asked for their opinion.
Oh my God, did I ask for that? Can I take that back?
Ryan Johnson.
It's time the world is live.
Ryan Johnson said, I have a question. When are women going to admit they cheat because it's easy for them?
Whew, Ryan.
That we cheat because
it's easy for us.
No, that's not the case. I will tell you why women cheat.
There you go. I'm gonna let Gabby take that because mine won't be so nice, and she's so nice. So I'm gonna let her tell you.
We cheat if there is something else wrong in the relationship, and if it's something that we think is not repairable, then we will go somewhere else. We don't do it because it's easy. It just happens to be easy. Y'all are.
And because they're not paying attention to us. When they're not paying attention?
Yeah.
Because you're paying attention to someone else?
Well, that's usually the reason. It's because some of our needs aren't being met.
Exactly.
And if some of them aren't being met, then probably other ones aren't being met, like
exactly
having people pay attention to what we're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's funny you asked that question and you make that statement right. Both. I like both because I was thinking the other day, I made a status and I put, you're being cheated on because, right? And it was just like a throw out there. So you're being cheated on because. Mm-hmm. So for a guy who found out he was being cheated on, or even a woman, ask yourself that, like, I'm being cheated on because. What did I do to be cheated on? So if you have a girl, you have a lady that, you're in a relationship with, but you haven't kissed her in, I guess, about 2 weeks. Ooh. Let's just say you just didn't kiss her. Like, let's do a checklist real quick. So I haven't kissed her in about 2 weeks. Okay. All right. That's a long time. My lips haven't touched hers in 2 weeks. Okay.
Touch is one of the languages of love.
Yes. Tell me, Gabby.
Touch
is one of the languages of love. I need to write that down. I love that. So you haven't touched her lips in 2 weeks. You haven't slept next to her in about a week.
What's he doing? Is he
Now you guys cannot live together.
PlayStation?
I'm gonna just play a PlayStation.
Fall asleep on the couch.
I love it, right? And situations are different, right? But if you're in a relationship, just note to self, if you're in a relationship with a woman, and let's say you've been in this relationship with this woman for a year, 2 years.
Comfortable.
Yeah, you're comfortably in a relationship. So this is not for those new relationships, 90-day relationships. This is for, people
honeymoon phase.
Yeah, the honeymoon phase.
Exactly.
This is not for those. These are for the relationships that have been going on for a while. Now you're on your checklist. Your lips haven't touched hers in about 2 weeks. You haven't slept next to her in about a week. And you haven't had sex with her in about a month. You haven't had a decent conversation with her in about a month.
Compliments.
You don't compliment her at all. Like, she hasn't got a compliment from you. You haven't taken the time to say to her, wow, you know, your eyes are beautiful today. Or, you know, you look really nice today. I like that blouse you have on. You know, women, we compliment each other so well and easily. You know, when those women that, you know, okay with allowing another woman to just be beautiful and not, you know, be mad because she's beautiful. You know, and I think that's another reason, note to self, gentlemen, why we have so many ladies out here that like ladies. Because ladies don't have a problem if you're in a relationship with another woman, like immediately, like soon as you wake up, oh baby, you're so beautiful. Oh baby, you know, you're so cute. You know, we know how to conversate with each other. We know how to make each other feel good.
Well,
So
I feel like that's society a lot too, has done that of like making men clam up and not express their feelings, and
that may be true.
And
that may be
especially
true.
like talk about other people, complimenting other people, and just like being positive. That's really frowned upon for men. So it is harder for them, but we want that.
We need that.
Yeah.
I hear guys say sometimes like, oh, well, you know you're beautiful, so why do I need to tell you? Well, when you first tried to talk to me, you were telling me I was beautiful every day. Good morning, beautiful.
That's your baseline.
Good morning, beautiful. Good day, beautiful. Good afternoon, gorgeous. Hey, good night, beautiful. You know, you said all of those things. So when we're in a comfortable relationship, now that we're in this phase, then how come you stop saying that? So hold on real quick, producer. Just have that list before I go to these questions. That's your list. You didn't kiss, you didn't touch. Your love language, clearly, as Gabby said, is definitely starting to fade away. Yeah. And now, you know, instead of you trying to fix it, you're getting angry, because when those things fade away, that's when anger comes in.
Yeah, or the angry stuff lasts longer.
It does.
Right, because you have a little fight, a nothing fight in the grocery store, you know, and you get home and you're not hugging anymore, and you're not like talking to each other anymore, and so that fight, it just stays in the air.
It does.
You have that energy, like, until you.
And guys don't like to talk. Guys don't like to talk about it. And we like to talk a lot. Ladies like to talk a lot. We want to talk. We want to have a conversation. We need to know why this is happening. And instead of you having that conversation because you're perceiving what we're doing to be nagging, or you're perceiving what we're doing to be complaining, instead of you having a conversation about why we haven't had sex in a month, why you haven't kissed me in 2 weeks, why we haven't had a good conversation, why, instead of you having a conversation with us to just find out what's going on, you'd rather go out with your friends and find somebody new.
A lot of the time.
A lot of the time.
That's true.
So when you go home and you don't have that when you leave and you don't have that conversation with us, I think we give it a lot of time. I mean, and not trying to just give ladies, but we give that a lot of time. Like, we'll wait around and cry about it, and oh my God, pray about it.
Yeah. I would say something. And then sometimes it doesn't even change.
Yeah.
You know, and then that's the point where if and this is another thing about being brave. If you're not brave enough to either break up with the person or fix it, then you're gonna sneak around and go elsewhere.
Exactly.
Because you feel hurt.
Yeah. And just, you know, the same way, you know, a guy will be out and you find somebody else and you're giving somebody else all your time, and then she's sitting at home and she's like, okay, something is just not right. And then she goes out and then of course she meets somebody else. And then the question is arising, well, why didn't you just leave? Well, you didn't leave either. Like, neither one of us left. So if you guys are wondering if I'm putting all the blame on you, absolutely I am. Did you notice that? Did you notice I put all the blame on you?
Yeah.
That's because it's Beyonka's layout. That's the only reason. Okay, what was the comment?
Okay, Tony Roberts.
Oh God, Tony! How did you get in here, Tony? He's like, you know,
He said all they require, talking about women, is a BDD.
Yeah. I know, like real quick, yes.
Will keep them good. They do long as the duck, right? They put up with anything.
Oh, okay, Tony. Thank you. Okay, Tony. So Tony is the one, you know, that I was talking about earlier. You know, Tony, him and I have good conversation. Yeah. Tony, shout out to Tony. He has question of the day, and he has great conversations. But Tony, came up with that observation that women cheat 90% of the time because of sex. And so I strongly disagree, as I said earlier.
There are so many DVDs in the world.
Yes!
It's not like that's the only thing out there.
It is not. Because we will put up with whack. If we have a guy that's like, let's just say we have a... Yes. Because
if you can't give me all arms, I'll make myself know.
Not only that,
I'm not worried about it.
And not only that, most of the time, if a guy is not good and strong in that department, then he's usually good and strong in oral sex. So the second department is like, he's gonna make up for it. So that's not gonna be something to make a woman go out there and cheat. I don't know a woman right now, and even having girl talk and all these ladies discussions, who's ever said like, "Oh yeah, I'm leaving because he doesn't." He's not. No.
If the sex is bad, we go and get a toy. That's it,
Tony.
If the relationship is bad, we go and cheat.
You get that? Oh my God! Take notes of that. So if the sex is bad, we go and get a toy, which. I did toy parties for 15 years. There's a lot of women that come to the toy parties like, yes, let me get this, let me get that, and they're going right. Shrimp. Yeah. Yes. And then she's shrimp. But yes, that is just, to me, it's not, they go back home to their man. It's not the reason why a woman would just say, okay, I'm just going to leave because of sex, because you can just kiss a woman. You can, sex is something, the act of the physical sexual encounter is one thing, right? But for a woman, you can make us smile. You can, just make us feel wanted. You can make us feel desired. You can tell us how beautiful we are. You can,
there's so many other ways to make me feel good.
Yes. That's like that's a good, don't get me wrong, God created us a certain type of way. So, we definitely like that. However, it's not like at the top of the list. So that's one of the things in the comments.
If you have sex every day for 2 hours, right? That's 2 hours out of 18 hours a day. That you're
yes.
And that's a lot of sex.
Yeah.
Every day for 2 hours a day. That's a lot of sex for a multiple relationship. What about the other 16 hours?
Yeah.
That's way more important to me than what kind of dick you got.
And exactly. What are we going? Because once it's over, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm
not gonna make you a sandwich.
She's not gonna make you a sandwich. So you gotta be like, yeah, you gotta be able to have good conversation. You gotta be able to have so many other good qualities. It's just. So that's why I put in there, because ladies, you can comment and you can tell me how you feel. Like, is sex like one of the number one priorities for you in a relationship? If it is, please comment so we can address Tony. So Tony can. I don't want him to be wrong. He's just wrong in my book, because that's just not true over here.
We want to get a complete perspective.
Exactly. Go ahead.
Okay, we have a couple comments.
Okay.
Ryan Johnson.
If they're not all for me on my side, I'm on your side. Go ahead. I'm kidding.
See, I agree, but relationships aren't perfect. So when a woman cheats because 20% is wrong, what about the 80%? That there aren't any perfect people. It is so easy for a woman to cheat. So y'all cheat for everything y'all want that you aren't, and then I can't see the rest.
Okay, wait a second. Where are y'all getting these percentages from? Ryan and Tony, where did you guys get that percentage from?
Tony said something else here.
Where did you get that from? Because I'm a woman and I've been around plenty of women, and I cannot say, if anything, I would just go ahead and be fair and say 50-50. But not 90% or 80% of women. That's not true at all. You have women, I've met women at toy parties, right? Thankfully at the toy parties, I've met women at toy parties who were in a relationship with a man for 20 years and had bad sex, and stayed faithful to that man for 20 years. Now, me personally, I was like, okay, so you are doing what now? I'm here buying some new toys. That's what their answer would be, because for me, 20 years ago, I would have been teaching you stuff. And for 20 years, we would have been upgrading. Like, I'm going to need you to get it together, and I'm going to help you get it together. I'm not just going to accept that your stroke game is off.
You're that devoted to a person.
That's wonderful. Right.
You help them. That's what we're here for.
Like, it's wonderful. It's wonderful that you stay dedicated to that person for 20 years and you just only slept with that person for 20 years. That's wonderful. That's what a marriage is supposed to be. But nothing has ever changed in the bedroom. Like, nothing at all. And you just keep buying toys. I don't know. I think I'm like, listen, do you think
some people don't have a high sex drive necessarily.
That's another thing as well. Yeah. And I'm glad you said that too, because I meet people all the time that say, like, their partner doesn't have a high sex drive. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the issues about their relationship. Like, they want to have sex all the time, but their partner doesn't have a high sex drive. Yeah. So clearly I'm like, okay, well, there's some things that they can take to spice that up, to spark it up a little bit. And there are also some things that you can do naturally to kind of get your partner more into it. Sex is it's like I said, it's not just a physical thing.
No, absolutely. Yeah. I feel like a lot of men oversimplify it. Like, well, I just gotta give her dick for 25 minutes or whatever it is. Right. Strong dick for 25 minutes and I'm good.
Girl, what guys are you talking to? I think they're like 5 minutes. What guys are you talking to? 25 minutes. Oh my God. I'm here like 5, 10 minutes. A good 10 minutes. Yeah. I was like, okay, you go to the gym. What gym is that? Like, no, I'm kidding. So, is there any more comments before I go?
Yeah. Tony Roberts saying, there is no excuses. People cheat because they can. You can do it all and provide it all, and a person can still cheat. You can compliment and walk out the door and F your next door neighbor.
Okay, that's a selfish person who has some real problems going on within themselves.
That's Tony.
I know that's his comment, but I'm saying an individual like that.
Wait, we have another comment.
Let her respond to that one first. Go ahead.
People, not everybody is going to cheat. A lot of people are very faithful, and people don't cheat because they can. People cheat because they're hurt, and it wasn't necessarily you who did it either.
Yeah,
it might have been her father or a previous boyfriend or an uncle. You never know. You never know what kind of stuff women or men go through that sets them up for that situation, but people cheat because they're hurt.
Yeah, I believe that. I definitely believe that.
I'm not saying anything about this mister, but I, for a long time, not on purpose, but sought out men who weren't good for me. Who weren't necessarily gonna do what I needed them to do, like have a job. Stuff like that.
Oh my God, we can relate. So
But everybody.
But the physical attraction, the physical attention was just like enough.
It was for a while, and there were other things, other factors, and where you say like, oh, this person is doing this, and like. He's a rapper or he's a DJ, whatever. And that's so sexy, but that's like nutty stuff. But people cheat because they're hurt, and if you find women or men that you feel like you want to save them, you want to love them to save them, then you're probably gonna get hurt, because if they need to be saved, they probably don't know how to love you right.
Exactly, and they have a lot of healing to go through for them to be able to even accept you, acknowledge the fact that they have a problem, that that they need to get themselves together. I believe that to be 1000% true, because like you said, Tony, you can be in a relationship with somebody and you do everything right and they still cheat, you know, and you're like, well, what in the world did I do?
A lot of people sabotage themselves.
Yeah, that's them. It's not true.
In relationships and everything.
That's very true.
People can be very self-destructive, and even if they love you, and even if you're the most important person to them, they still might have been upset with you for whatever, and then got themselves into a situation where they made a mistake and they messed up.
Yeah.
You know, but then that they don't have the courage and the integrity to say no, I'm not going to do this because I'm with this other person.
Yeah.
You know, and
that's saying hurt people. Yeah. It goes into all aspects of life, and definitely in relationships. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're dating somebody who's been hurt and they have yet to even acknowledge everything that's gone on and process that. Therapy is serious. You know, like if they haven't gone through any of that and they're just carrying around that hurt, you know, it just builds up and it causes them to just continue to act out on that hurt.
I'm going to tell you something about myself that is really, I feel like is really an example of this. When I was cheating on people, it was like in my early 20s, and I was just like, I wasn't living right, you know. You know, there was nothing that I was doing was right, but I just when I was little, I don't remember it, so I don't know. But when I was little, I'm pretty sure that I was molested.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so a lot of times I'll be in situations that I don't want to be in, and I'll want to say no, and I'll just do it anyway.
You know, that's something that I've heard that a lot of times.
Rather than have a confrontation with a person, of like no, I really don't want to do this. I'm sorry to have led you on, and I'm sorry to like do this now when you're like already ready to go, you know, and I didn't mean to lead you on. I didn't mean to like mislead you or anything. Rather than have that conversation and that confrontation, which can sometimes get really ugly.
Definitely.
A lot of times I would just have sex with the person. Or do what they wanted me to do.
So what changed in your life to allow you to get to a place where that no longer was how you felt? Like, okay, no, I'm not gonna just allow myself to not say no. Not just, you know, because that's that little person inside of you, honestly, is what that is. That hurt person that's inside you, that scared person that's inside of you. A lot of women, you know, have that.
They just want to get, it's like this inner child that just wants to get along.
Exactly.
It just wants to be accepted.
Exactly.
You know, and
it's fearful.
Doesn't want to be in trouble.
Yeah, because, you know, once you grow up, you know, once you become an adult and you still have that inside of you, you kind of, like I said, it's that little person, because you forget that now you're a bigger person. You have the strength to like knock a man out. Like, oh, wait a second, I can whoop his ass, you know. But you're still that same little person that already was abused and had things happen to, and you just turn into that inside out, you know, and allowing yourself to just be in those situations. It's unfortunate, and I'm just gonna say, like, you definitely don't have to feel like that was just you, because I don't think it's about being in a bad place in your life, or, you know, oh, I did a lot of bad things during this time. That was the time when you were transitioning, you know, and the time when you were just trying to find yourself. I think, you know, when you're going through that transitional period, it's unfortunate, but that's when people take the most advantage of you.
Yeah.
You know, and not even just sexually, but in every aspect. You'll find your friends like borrowing your stuff all the time because they know you're not going to say no. You know what I mean? So not just sexually, but in every aspect. So when was it, do you think, that in your life where you felt like, okay, now this is not going to be me anymore?
It was, I have exactly when it was, because it was a whole event. I was in a very rough and rocky relationship with somebody for a couple of years, and he was abusive, very abusive.
Wow.
Yeah, and so once I got out of that, I literally jumped out of his car. I jumped out of his car and just ran the other way down the street.
Wow.
To get away, and then like subsequently had to separate all their stuff and everything. But
wow.
But yeah, after that, my whole life changed because I had like a new lease on life.
Yeah.
I had gotten to a point where we were living we were living like paycheck to paycheck. Pretty much, there were days when I didn't eat, where like the kids would eat, but I wouldn't eat because we didn't have enough money for me to eat too. And then he would go out every night and drink every night and get home at 4 a.m. And then this is heavy stuff. But he would he would want to have sex, and if I could make him come, then he would pass out. But if he didn't, then he would get really angry and find something else to get angry about, and then he would beat up on me at like 5 or 6 in the morning. Yeah, and it happened a lot.
Wow.
So
I'm so proud of you for getting out of that situation. Like, I know we're online right now, but I'm like, you can hug and everything. Like, oh my God. Yes, I'm so proud of you because it's not easy.
It's the most courageous thing I've ever done was to leave that day.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Just for you. I mean, for your life.
Yeah.
For your daughter's life. Like, thank you for doing that.
And what was so cool is I left, and this is just a cool little thing. I was running down the street in Ellicott City. It's like right outside Baltimore, and I just got off the street and I went back behind to this lady's house and I knocked on her door to use her phone because he still had my phone. My phone was in the car, and I just told her my car broke down because I didn't want to explain. And she was so wonderful to me. She was like, "Oh, please come in. Are you okay? Do you want some?"
Oh my God!
Here, use the phone. And then I couldn't reach my mom or my dad, and so she drove me home. And it was like God was like, "Hey, you did the right thing with this. Here, have an angel to come and help you just for a second." It was so good. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! That was so. Oh my God. That was really courageous and it was really brave. So, oh my gosh, I'm trying to get it together real quick, y'all. But I know, right? I'm so happy. It is so good. It is.
And I feel like it's made me a better person. I learned so much from that whole experience. And they were really hard lessons to learn. Really hard lessons. But I don't think I could have learned them any other way.
Yeah. I always say God will definitely teach you a lesson, but he'll make it extremely bad. And then okay, I really need you to learn this lesson. I really need you to use this testimony in your life. Yeah. And this time I'm going to make it so bad that you don't turn around. You're going to continue to walk forward. Yeah. So
he gave me signs all along the way. When I first took up with this person, it was on my birthday, and we got pulled over. Somebody else was driving, and he got locked up because there was a warrant out for his arrest.
Oh my God! For domestic.
And I was so stupid and so naive that he told me that oh, it's bullshit. She's just making stuff up, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we believe we're believing in people, especially when we already have expectations. And when it comes to men, we immediately have an expectation. I always joke about that. When we meet a guy and we have a question, but when we meet a guy and he's super nice and he's and we're having great conversation, and we even get to the point to where we're giving him our phone number and we're going out on a date or something afterwards. It's oh my God, he is so nice. We already have this perception.
Invested.
Exactly.
And as soon as people joke about it, oh, as soon as I met him, I was planning our wedding, or I was thinking about what our kids would look like. And it's not necessarily that deep, but I definitely, if I see somebody, if I spend some time with somebody and I like them, then I go home and I'm like, oh, maybe we can go out to dinner. And then I think about going out to dinner with them, or I think about the next time that I'm gonna be over at their house, or when we're gonna have sex, what that's gonna be whatever it is, but spending that time and having that fantasy really attaches you to a person without having any real,
and because you're just meeting them, you're just meeting that person. So if they tell you oh, he's a mass murderer, I don't know. Wait, if somebody says that somebody's a mass murderer, I might actually believe that part because I watch the IT channel all the time. But so I might be more believing to that than that, oh, he robbed a bank or something like that. Oh my God, no, he couldn't have. Okay, what's the comment?
So Lex Capri said, people do cheat because they can. It's not only because they're hurt. Them being hurt makes them feel like they can cheat, which is why they do it.
But that kind of goes into the same thing that we said, like full circle, right? So I mean, like what you, but it still goes full circle. Like they're cheating because they were hurt, and because they're hurt, that gives them that entitlement to feel like,
well, the world was so hard on me, so
I'm gonna just do it.
She did this to me. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna just do it. Like, you know, they start to feel entitled. Like I always say, like, you get the back end of the stick when you get with somebody who's had like a really, really rough life, and they're just not, they don't tell you about it, but they meet you and they're just like, oh no, everything is perfect. Like, what do you, like, I had a perfect life. I went to school, you know, I graduated from college and everything was perfect. My mom and dad and I have a good relationship. And then a year into the relationship, you find out that his mother hates him. His father was never in his life. You know, you find out all these bad things.
For like 6 or 7 years.
Right. You find out all these bad things, and then that allows you to see, like, okay, well, this is why they were an asshole to me, because they had all these things transpire in their lives, and now instead of being honest with me about it, then they just met me and decided to make me believe this fantasy about them, and now they're doing all this crazy shit to me, making me pay for shit I didn't even know about. Exactly. And you told me that if you look, y'all saw that my mic. Look, my mic. Listen, y'all know I'm like really close into a relationship with the microphone. I love it so much. But you know, if you told a person that, like, when you met a person, like we're just out at a bar and I'm like, hey, listen, I have 2 ex-husbands and they were completely crazy. One of them threw me through a windshield and the other one just cheated on me the entire 7 years. You would probably be like, oh, okay, it's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you. Let me go through. So it's hard just
when you tell what? And to whom?
Like slowly.
Yeah.
Like give it to them slowly. Give it to them really slowly. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, so yeah, I've been married twice. It was rough.
I prefer just doing an interview where I can be like, oh yeah, he would. If I didn't make him come, you would just beat me up.
Yeah, right. Conduct a full interview. Oh my gosh. Oh, she's married. Hey, pretty girl. And she's good again. Okay.
Your hands are
okay. So have we answered a few of your questions? Yeah. Okay. All right. Real quick.
Okay. Donovan Williams said, because they tell you what you want to hear and you fell for it. The world is a stage and a lot of people
are actors.
Actors and actors.
I knew that was coming, Donovan. Hey, Donovan. I knew that was coming because unfortunately it is. But who wants to believe that everybody is going to be acting or pretending?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like we all do on a certain level at certain times. Hey.
Aww. Yeah.
Because I mean, you're not gonna act the same around your friends that you do at work.
Yeah.
You know, if you do, you're probably gonna get fired.
Pretty much.
You're gonna get a job.
Pretty much.
But you need to you always have to kind of adjust how you interact with people to facilitate just moving forward in business or relationships or whatever it is. And it's better. It works better to kind of like match what the other person is doing, like and kind of act the way that they do. Like not necessarily exactly, but just like if I see that you talk with your hands a lot, then I'm gonna kind of talk with my hands a little bit more.
Yeah,
because that's gonna make you more comfortable.
Right, that's true. That's true. Okay, that's true.
So,
but do you say
I wouldn't say that that's being fake, and I would say that is the same kind of thing as what Donovan was talking about being an actor and pretending to be something that you're not. I feel like with that it's a question of being real or having integrity, which for me that means doing what you say you're gonna do.
Yeah, I think you gotta be true to yourself in order to be, you know, how can you really be comfortable with putting on this persona and this whole different person when you're somebody that you are interested in or looking to pursue something with, and you know, because then that means you have to be an actor all the time. And as we all know, your true colors are going to shine through. Ooh, y'all see how I put that plug in? But your true colors they're going to shine through eventually. So I don't believe that. I mean, I do believe that there are some people who, you know, come on as actors. I mean, because, you know, we have those people that are what we call stunners nowadays. And they're like, oh, yeah, I have this car, and it's really their mom's car. Or I have this apartment, this condo, and it's really their mom's condo. You know, that type of thing. But, you know, your true colors are going to come out, you know. So at some point, you know, I think at age, you have to kind of mature to the level of actually being true to yourself. And once you're true to yourself and you accept yourself and you love yourself and you're confident within yourself, then you can be true to someone else, and you can actually, you know, go out here and meet people and not have it, not be an actor or an actress. If you have, I'm sorry. Someone else. If you have stuff that you're lying to other people about, then you're probably lying to yourself about it too. Yes, that's true. And if you start to believe that lie that much that you're telling yourself and telling other people, then you'll get lost. You know, because you won't even know yourself, like, well, what is the real truth? And then if you're with somebody and you're telling yourself that lie, like, oh yeah, I've got money, or I'm good with my money, and that's a lie, then you're going to be looking to them to make up for what you lack. And so you have to be a whole person before you can be exactly. That's really important. Okay, go ahead. What's the next comment?
Sandra King said, I can understand a mistake the first time, but when they keep continuing it, it's no longer a mistake.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely not. A continued mistake. You know, I don't think so. Like, okay, yeah, it happened the first time. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
That's just being a shitty person.
Okay.
And
that goes into like what we said to Tony. Like, that's just, you know, there's also a thing called being selfish in a relationship. You know, and that's why I said earlier, like, if you do something, you don't like a person or you don't like what they're doing, you know, the person has a bad intimate life and all that kind of stuff, you can choose to say, hey, you know what, this just is not working out, and I'm just going to go ahead and separate myself from this situation. You know, now if that person is just like, no, don't leave, I can't live without you, I can't breathe without you, don't leave.
Then you should really go.
Then you should. She said then you should really go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because if they need you that bad, then what are they doing?
No, I mean the second person. So like, no. Oh, you got cotton candy?
Oh, so yummy.
Yes. Like she's like, I'll share with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, like if the first person, so like say, you know, that person, they cheated, you know, they something happened, and thank you. I'm just hand out. All right. So that person cheated, and you know, then you go home and you're like, I don't want to do it anymore. And then and the person's like, okay, and they go to leave and walk out the door, and then you're like, no, don't go. Like then it's kind of hard. You put that person in a hard spot because now you know, like, okay, that person cheated. You know, they're willing to leave, but you're not willing to let go. So that's just kind of a touchy situation. What's the next comment?
Sandra King said, what?
Hey, Sandra, let me shout you out first. Well, hey, Sandra. Hey, sissy. Mwah. Go ahead.
She said, what if you're married, then what?
Okay, I'm going to be Dr. Phil. Hold on now. If you are married, I say this all the time, marriage is something that's completely different from just an average relationship. Because when you're married, you have taken a vow with this person, and you have taken a oath, you know, to love this person till death do you part. So it didn't, I mean, and you also, that person also took an oath to you to be faithful, to be loyal, to be true to you. However, you know, when things happen in a relationship, you kind of got to evaluate everything. The way, you know, I was talking earlier about the list, you know, and going over the list, like, I cheated because, I'm being cheated on because, you know, both parties have to take the time to actually evaluate that situation and sit down and communicate on a level of where they can actually work things out. You know, it's not a give up thing.
Yeah. I feel like in in marriage and in any relationship, I feel like one time is forgivable.
Mm-hmm.
That's that, and somebody said that's a mistake. But if you apologize for something and then you go and do the same thing, then that's not acceptable. That person doesn't respect you
at all.
If you're the one going through that,
if
they do something to you twice, you're gonna do it again.
Exactly. And if it's just a relationship, you can just be like, oh, okay, I can choose to just up and leave. But if it's in a marriage, you kind of gotta like have that. It's no way you cannot have that sit down, talk, communication, go to therapy, go to couple counseling, seek outside help,
and that should be on your terms. If the other person cheated, then it should be on your terms what they need to do.
There you go.
To get back into your good graces.
That's something I don't think people do right. They don't take that charge. Charge and say, like, if you're in a relationship and in that relationship something happens to where you've been cheated on or something, and then you're still playing victim. I mean, not playing victim, but you're still playing a role of like, oh, well, what are we gonna do? No, let me tell you what Beyonka does. Bianca's like, this is what we're gonna do, and if you don't do this, that, and the third, we're not gonna sit there and have this conversation. If we're not gonna go and go to therapy, if we're not gonna figure out what's going on, then you need to go ahead and you need to go, or I need to go ahead and I need to go. You have to have that, you have to kind of, take charge. But even when taking charge, ladies and gentlemen, please understand that you have to evaluate yourself. You have to figure out like what is really going on, not just with your relationship, but with you, with your partner, all the way around the board. A marriage is work. A marriage is very hard work. And if a person has the opportunity and takes the opportunity to actually step outside, then you have to really, and you're not willing to just say, okay, they stepped outside the marriage, let me leave. If that's not the option, then you want to work on it. Then you actually have to take the time to evaluate yourself, evaluate your relationship, evaluate your marriage. Go to counseling, talk to somebody outside.
Like you should be telling them like, well, this is what I need you to do to make it up to me. But then also, why did this happen? Why did you do this?
Why did this happen?
Keep doing this?
Yes.
And what can I do?
To
help you make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, because if you love that person enough,
want to be in the marriage, then that's what it takes.
The communication is important. Communication is the most important thing in a relationship, I believe. Like I said earlier, as far as like what's the number one thing but earlier I asked the question, what was the number one thing in a relationship as far as a requirement? What do you ladies really require in a relationship? Somebody said they were waiting to see what women want, and in a relationship, I believe, that's number one, communication. Yeah. We want to have someone actually communicate with us, talk to us, have conversations with us, all the C's. We want phone calls. We want all forms of communication.
And two comments.
Okay,
Sandra King said, yes, I like what your guest is saying.
Oh my gosh, so she just gonna shoot me down like she don't like what I'm saying. I shout her out and everything. Okay, Sandra King. No more high sissy to you. Shout out to Sandra.
She also said, yes, I've been doing 11 years of work.
Yeah.
Wow, 11 years. Yeah. Dang, it's tough. I ain't made it past 7.
I've never been married. I'm just going on what I know from serious relationships. But I don't know. Do you feel like it's worth it?
I do. I'm married and divorced twice, and I'm still waiting for number 3.
Wow.
So not waiting. Wait. Correction, because if I ain't at that box later on, I'm not waiting for number 3, so I'm not sitting here twiddling my finger like, oh my God, where's number 3? No, but I am preparing myself for number 3. I'm gonna say that.
She said no, that's not what she's saying. Like she said, she not saying she don't care about what you say.
Still taking back my hate sissy thing. Look at that. Put it away. Just kidding. But because I believe in marriage. My parents have been married for 38 years. It'll be 38 years on August 18th. My grandparents have been married for over 60 years. Wow. So, I believe in marriage. I know, right?
beautiful.
It is. So I'm just, I believe
like
in it.
After that relationship that I was telling you about, I've been so busy for one thing. I either work or I'm with my daughter, and so I haven't had time to date. But I feel like I would rather be alone than be in something that bad.
Oh my God, yes. I would rather be. I would rather be alone than to be unhappy, unsafe, uncomfortable. All of those uns. You know, when you're in a relationship, if you experience those uns, I'm unhappy, I'm uncomfortable, I feel unsafe, then especially unsafe. You know, you definitely should be by yourself. You know, and I think honestly, I don't know how
there are so many women who don't live that. Like we all feel like we should, you know, but there's
like, I have to have because they have that I have to have syndrome. You know, I don't want to be by myself. You know, and no one likes to be by themselves. No one wants to just. I mean, God didn't create us that way to live alone. However, right? You know, but you have to take time, especially after situations like ones you endure, to actually take the time to heal properly, so that you can be in a successful relationship. Because if you just jump in a relationship after that situation, it would be hard. It would be so hard because you wouldn't be untrusting.
Oh my God, I totally just messed something up. There's somebody who I just kind of I met right after all that happened, and I really liked him. I was like, oh my God, he's so cute, he's so great. And then I went over to his house and I slept with him the first night that I met him.
Oh my gosh.
And then of course he was like, well, I'm not gonna date you.
Oh my goodness, really?
I mean, he didn't like say it straight up, but like every time I would be like, yeah, let's go out and do something. He was like, no, I can't. But do you want to come over? You know, like,
oh my God, no, you gotta set the standard. No, we're gonna talk after the show.
I was rebounding so hard.
Because you're instantly looking for that void to be filled. You know, even though it's a bad relationship and a bad situation for you, it still had a feeling for that.
You always have somebody with you.
You know,
and then you're by yourself and you have a lot more room to like think and like have your thoughts. Exactly. And when you're at that point, a lot of them are really
bad. They are. And
so.
when you're married, me being married for so long, you know, when I got out of those relationships and I really was by myself immediately, I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to do this. Let me jump into a relationship. But I learned over time, like it was never gonna work because I never took the time to heal or really process what had actually happened or transpired from even my first marriage.
Wow.
So exactly. So I had to like take the time to actually process everything that had happened. So ladies, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, especially those gentlemen that have those percentages so high as far as women doing bad things, let me just say to all of you, like if you've been in a bad relationship, if it was an unhealthy relationship, if you've endured being cheated on, if you've endured being abused mentally, physically, emotionally in a relationship, because all of those are hard things to deal with, and you get out of that relationship, don't jump into another relationship. Actually take the time to be alone and find yourself and allow yourself to heal, because that's the only way you will truly be able to be good to yourself as well as to anybody else, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
There's something else that really that was one of the lessons that I learned in this whole thing, and it seems so obvious, but it never really occurred to me. When you are picking who you want to spend your time around, there are people who make you feel good and make you feel like happy and peaceful and inspired and just happy. And those are the people you want to spend your time around. There are people who you leave them. Think about how you feel when you leave them. If you feel annoyed, if you feel angry, if you feel guilty, a lot of people will make you feel guilty. Just like, but the first time you meet them, then those are the people who you need to avoid. Those are the people who are going to cheat on you more than once.
More than once, and it's going to continue to come back.
And it's so easy to have our judgment clouded by other things like, oh, well, she's got a nice ass, or like he's got a bunch of money, or
he's got a nice car.
Yeah, he's got a nice car. He has such a great job, and he's so motivated. And he comes from a good family. Those things are actual like qualities that people legitimately look for. But if he doesn't make you feel good and feel happy, or she doesn't make you feel good and feel happy when you leave them the first time, then
and definitely don't take into consideration what other people are going to think or how they're going to feel, because that's another thing that I feel women especially, and I can only speak for women because I am a woman, but women especially battle with, you know, if you get in a relationship with a guy and the guy has like, oh, he has a really good job, oh, he's, you know, 35 and he doesn't have any kids, you know, and he's got a nice car, he's got a nice house, he comes from a good family, as you just said. When he has all of those good qualities that people see from the outside, but yet he's treating you like pure tea shit on the inside and behind closed doors, you feel pressured to just like, well, maybe I should just suck it up because everybody else is telling me that I should be lucky. I have a good man. You know, he looks and appears to be a good man on the outside, but I know that he's hurting me on the inside and behind closed doors. So you feel pressured. I'm here to tell you, Beyonka is here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, because gentlemen might have a girl too. Like that's totally horrible.
Users can be anybody.
Yeah, they really can. Yeah. And people are like pressuring you, like, oh, she's a good woman. You know, she's beautiful, or she has a nice body, and she's got a good job. She takes care of her kids. She cooks. She cleans. Yes, but the whole time she's crazy.
Yeah, if you come home and all that she has to say to you is stuff that you've done wrong and how stupid you are, then
speak.
Then that's not somebody you want to be around. That's not somebody who's going to be good for you and you're going to thrive with.
Yes, because if you're in a relationship with somebody who literally only sees your downfalls and they only see the bad things about you, then for one, that's one of those things that pushes the person to cheat. Yeah. Because I said this the other day on the show. You know, you can be in a relationship with somebody and truly be in love with that person, and then that person is just treating you bad. Like they're always like, oh my God, why didn't you do this? Why? Or, you know, just
I might as well.
Yeah, you know,
like this person is nice to me.
Right, they're going to Dunkin' Donuts every morning to get that cappuccino, and every day they go to and they go and when they go into Dunkin' Donuts to get that cappuccino, then the lady that's selling them the cappuccino, she's starting to get more and more familiar with that person, and she's like, hey, how are you? You look so nice today. You're such a hardworking man. Yeah. You're so handsome. You always hear everyone. She has nothing but nice things to say to your man. Meanwhile, you're home and you're telling your man how much this isn't right, he's not doing that right. You know, you're fussing and you're nagging and you're being agonizing. I can't get the word out. But you know, antagonizing. I was like, you gonna say me? Antagonizing him. And or her, because it could be vice versa. It could be a guy doing it to a girl as well. And then every morning he's going to the donut shop or she's going to the donut shop and she's being treated or he's being treated like he's desiring or she's desiring to be treated. You know, those are things that you have to pay attention to. Like, well, and not saying that you may not have a reason, because sometimes people do have a reason. Like, well, this man is not picking up his socks off the floor. This woman will not wash dishes. She won't cook. You can have your reasons, but those are the times when you take the time to communicate your likes, your dislikes, all of that.
You have to figure out what's important to you first. Yeah, what's important to you in yourself and in your partner. Like this is what I bring to the table, and then I know that I bring to the table. Yeah, this is what I need for you to bring to the table. And so if they're cutting you down, then you know, like, oh no, you know, I'm in my experience, like I go out and I go work all day and I come home to you. I'm not a stupid whore. Yeah, I'm not a stupid lady whore. You know, like absolutely, like that's just ridiculous because I know who I am and I know what's important to me and I know that I'm working toward it and doing that. Yes, and I feel like if you have that with yourself and you know what you need in your partner, then it's a lot easier to communicate those expectations, because if you don't even know that you want somebody who's gonna come home and ask you how you are, if you don't realize that that's important to you, to have somebody care about your day, then that's gonna bother you every day. Exactly. And maybe push you to make a mistake, or maybe just push you to resent that person and ruin your relationship over time. You know, gradually. But if you don't know that that's important to you, then how will they know? How would they know if you don't know? So go ahead.
Trying to
Oh
reconnect.
no. It does push up.
It says finish.
It does.
It says trying to connect, and all it's saying is that I can press finish.
Why don't you move it towards me? Y'all are still in.
I'm sorry, I was taking pictures on your phone.
Is it connected?
That's what the camera's for.
It's still something.
Move a little bit closer.
It's up YouTube.
Yes, YouTube. I hope you guys have been enjoying the show.
I have.
I know it's been so nice, and you know what? It's funny because relationship topics they'll like absolutely never end. Okay, so it was we had some technical issues, but you guys are back. You guys are back. So my question for you guys is now, and I guess you and I can answer the question as well. But what do women want? So I'm curious to hear what. And for those that are on YouTube, even if you watch this show after this show ends, I would like for you to still comment in the comments below so that our gentlemen can see what it is you want. What do women want? Gentlemen, and you can also tell us, what do you think women want? That's the question of the rest of the show. What do women want? So I'm going to allow you, because you're the guest, to tell, what do you think women want?
We want to be listened to.
We want to be heard. Do you hear that? Get your pen and paper out.
Just heard. We want to be listened to.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we tell you that it's important for you to empty the dishwasher, and we say, hey, would you mind emptying the dishwasher because I make the dinner and I fill it and then I go to work in the morning, and so it would just be really great if you could do this. Then you say, yeah, we're part of a team. Let me do that for her. That's being listened to, or even like, hey, I think that your friend is not really in your corner.
Yeah.
I saw him talking to somebody else and kind of like giving you a look or whatever it is.
Yes, take our advice.
Yeah. We want to feel valued, and you do that by listening to us and taking us into consideration when we take the time to give you our input.
Yeah,
because we're fine by ourselves.
Yeah.
So
Right.
We want you to add to our lives, and we want to add to yours.
Definitely.
And so and the best way to do that, I feel like this is a little I guess egocentric, but I feel like in a lot of ways women are very involved in ways that I think that the world should be more so involved in. And like we're better caregivers, we're more compassionate, we have more empathy. Mm-hmm. We have the ability to like feel like to put ourselves in other people's shoes a little bit better, just because we're not we're allowed to express our feelings.
Definitely.
But I feel like if men kind of looked at that and let us do that and did that in return, and we're compassionate and listen, especially when we take the time to try to communicate something, then I think that things would go a lot more.
I think if we could find a compassionate man, like I would be in shock. I think Barack was the only compassionate man.
I'm a very lucky girl. My father is a very compassionate person.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
My dad is compassionate, but he's compassionate after he's hard. Like you gotta break through that shell, because he'll be like hard and like really stern and just stick with what he has to say, and then once you get past that, like maybe like 20 minutes later, then comes the compassion.
Yeah.
So
my dad is so funny. He's like, women are better than men. There's just no
no
question.
I don't think my dad is ever saying that. He's not going that far.
Yeah. I don't know. We lived in a very girl power.
Okay, so my dad, no girl power with me. I had two brothers, and I was the only girl. So it was like, my dad raised me to be just like the boys. Like you have to be hard, you have to be tough.
That's
you know,
good.
yeah,
That's
definitely.
It
You have to know how to.
gives you a lot of strength.
It does. It definitely does.
It does. Otherwise.
But yeah, compassion, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, and listening, I feel like is.
Yeah.
Just because there's so much that we're always thinking about a lot of different things. You know, and so there's so much we communicate. And read, like if a man like facial expression, we're looking at your body language,
definitely
anything that you say, your inflection and how you say it, and so we're always picking up that much information from you,
definitely,
you know, and so when we talk and like make an effort to give you information, then please be receptive.
Yeah. And that receptiveness is so important, because if we say a whole lot and we feel like you just did not listen at all, you know what the worst thing is?
Then I'm about to go cheat.
Yeah. That's gonna make her cheat. But listen, you know the worst thing is of all time when you say something to someone, well, you know, especially in a relationship, and you're like, babe, I really love, let's just say, for instance, I really love Fridays. That's like my absolute favorite restaurant, and I really love Fridays, and I really love their pasta dish, right? And that's something that you talk about, you got to, so then you go somewhere and it's like, you know where my favorite place is? Nowhere. Oh, so you never listened at all those times I was telling you?
Yeah,
that kind of gets to me a little bit. That gets under my skin.
Yeah, whereas like,
and he tells us.
No. What I was gonna say is if I were to tell somebody that, and I had a long day at work and I just got home, and I say, hey, I just got home, I haven't eaten dinner. Do you wanna do something for dinner? He's like, yeah, I'll come over. If he brought me that pasta dish from Fridays,
oh my God, we're in love.
That is so much head.
Yes, that is the truth. So, I mean, it goes both ways. Like, if you totally forget and don't remember at all, then we're definitely pissed. And we're going to feel some type of way. But if you actually remember and you go so far as to do what she just said, like,
if you surprise me with how you listen, then like,
oh my God, that's amazing. Especially to be like, you know, what is that? Dang, it was a movie, Stomp the Yard. And he asked the girl something about her favorite color, and he was like, green is her favorite color, or whatever. He was just paying attention to her. Like, she didn't even tell him, he was just paying attention. And it just like makes the girl's heart melt, because we want to be acknowledged. You know, we want to be adored.
We're always paying attention.
Yeah, we are. We are to everything you do. That's why we can nag about it, because we're always paying attention to the finest detail.
And so we want you to pay attention.
Yes.
And
so
we'll
try
try
to
ease up in return, or I will.
Yeah, look, I'm about to say, look, I'm not easing up. I'm kidding. So wait, is there any comments?
Well, I mean, if somebody's listening to you, then you can. You know?
Definitely. Yeah, as long as you're listening. If you're listening, I mean, that means
it's easier to let stuff go too.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Mm-hmm. Like the other little things. Like if you brought me the pasta dish.
Yeah, like okay,
Fridays, that's fine. Even if you dishwasher.
Right. You can try to pass over some stuff.
Yeah.
So before I even give you guys my answer, I want us to we didn't even get to know Miss Gabby all the way. Well, we know a lot about Gabby right now, but we didn't even get to know about why she even is here tonight and how she got here. And so I heard to the grapevine from, again, my amazing agent, Mr. Tay. Shout out to him, the king, right? I heard to the grapevine that you were a model.
Yes.
And so I want to know all about this modeling thing.
Well, I can't tell you that I'm a model without telling you that I'm also a musician.
Okay.
Yeah, because I model as a tool to help me with my music and with networking and meeting photographers and videographers and getting my name out and getting my face out and getting pictures.
Awesome way of networking.
Yeah, and it's so fun. It's so great because it's you just get all dolled up, you look your best that you've ever looked, and you go and people take pictures of you and tell you you're beautiful.
That's like the best. I should have thought of that a long time ago. What was I thinking? It's really awesome. Yeah.
And there are times when there are things that are hard. You know, like I got body painted
Oh my God, I'm doing body painting event.
Are you?
Yeah.
I do body paint.
Yes.
I don't paint. I get painted.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah,
of course.
So we'll link up on that. But the first time I did, it took I think 2.5 hours because I did the whole thing, which was okay. There were times when I was like, oh, I don't want to sit down. No, this is so hard.
Yes, that's a long time to stand up.
Yeah. But then I had to go and shoot in front of a bunch of other people, and nobody else was naked. And I was like,
oh my God. Talk about awkward.
I know,
Oh my
I
God.
felt like I was like in a meat market.
Because everyone was just,
yeah.
And then because you were painted, it was just make them look even more like, wow, it's beautiful. You couldn't say that they were just looking at your body like, no, we're looking at the art, we're looking at everything, but we're looking at the art.
It was a spectacle, you know?
Yeah.
And then there was this other guy who like came in to talk to me, and he was like, oh yeah, I really like the detail in here, and he was like this close to my chest. Back up, get away from me, you know? So I mean, like, that's like the worst thing that's happened to me modeling.
Okay.
There are difficult situations or uncomfortable times, but for the most part, it's just feeling beautiful and having somebody tell you you're beautiful and creating beautiful images.
Every woman wants that.
Yeah, I shot at a waterfall last week. I did a swimsuit shoot at a waterfall, and that's like a lifelong dream for me to like go and play.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes,
like, I can be beautiful.
Pictures. Yeah. It was so beautiful. It's just in a park that's kind of by here.
Oh, okay.
Pretty close to where you are. And, and you just walked up basically.
Oh, I don't know where it is. Okay, okay.
Yeah, and there was a waterfall up at the top, and I was like, he's like, are you adventurous? And I was like, you have no idea.
Right?
Yes. So I like climbed up into the waterfall, and I was like, water was coming down on me, and I just felt so sexy and so beautiful and so awesome.
Wow.
Felt like a goddess, like the goddess that I am.
Yes. Embracing the moment.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's awesome. So what type of musician are you?
I'm a singer.
Okay.
Yeah, I sing, and then I also play piano and violin.
Okay. Oh, wow. Very talented.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So how long have you been playing the violin? Let's start with that.
Violin, I've been playing violin for 22 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I started when I was 6.
Wow. Okay. Wow, that is awesome. And the piano?
I started playing piano when I was 4.
My goodness.
My whole family are all musicians.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So
it's a given. Yeah, it's a given. Okay, it's a given. Now we understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my dad actually played the piano for the president until a couple of years ago.
Wow.
Obama called him his favorite guy.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
This is just a good story, real quick. He was introducing him to his daughters.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, this is my favorite guy. He can play anything you want. And he said, SpongeBob, because they were little at the time. It was the beginning of his term. And my dad said, I don't know SpongeBob. My kids didn't watch that. And so Obama started singing SpongeBob to my father. He was like, oh, you know, he lives in a pineapple under the seas. And then SpongeBob.
Yes.
Yeah, and they have a bunch of pictures. My dad has a bunch of pictures of them together. But so music has been in my family my entire life, and in my life since birth. So I can't even get away from it. I tried to go and do another job, and it pulled me back in.
Right, it's inside of your bloodstream.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'm guessing singing started at an early age as well.
Yeah. I mean, I've been singing forever, and I started singing in choir in middle school, and then through high school, and then I did more like solo stuff in college, and then I started writing my own music. Probably about at the end of when I was in college. I kind of got out of school and was like, no, this is what I want to do. I want to write my own music. I have to have my voice.
Yes, because
I have important things to say.
Right.
People need to hear them. Yeah.
Right.
I can't just be playing somebody else's music.
Exactly. I was about to say, when you have those talents, and you have many talents, so when you have those talents, you can pretty much like, no, I'm gonna write it and I'm gonna sing it. This is my music. This is really, and you feel it.
A little beat on the iPad. Yeah.
Right. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you have some
I do. I have an EP that I'm just finishing up the mix and master, and it's gonna come out. I want to put it out on my birthday. That's gonna be December 3rd of this year.
Oh wow, okay.
And I'll be releasing the first single from it, or a single from it, probably October, maybe around Halloween.
Okay.
It's called For the Love. And
For the Love.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and the name of the EP isn't set yet. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell everybody out there what an EP is.
Oh, an EP is it's like a small album.
Oh,
So,
okay.
So it's gonna have 5 tracks.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, just give you a sample.
Okay, just gonna get a little sample. So, are you playing any of the instruments on your EP?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
There are a few songs that I play piano on, and I actually did all the production for everything that's on there.
Okay.
So I played piano on a few songs, and then I made beats on my iPad, just like little ones, pretty basic ones, and then I'm playing violin, I think, on just one of the songs, and then there are a lot of vocal parts that I wrote all the parts and I'm singing all the parts on.
Okay, that's extraordinary.
Thank you.
You see that big word I just used, because that's like not even just not good, it's not nice. Like that is truly extraordinary to be able to do all of that and model and be a mom. That's so awesome. That's so awesome, and still smile. And all of that is going on. That's so awesome. So, with the modeling, how old were you when you started doing the modeling?
Well, I've kind of been dabbling in that forever.
Okay.
Not forever, but when I was 18, I got kind of scouted by John Robert Powers, who they're a school and an agency. Who they go back pretty far, but from what I hear and from what I found is that they're good if you have a lot of money to put into it.
I think that's pretty much any agency.
Yeah.
As long as you can like invest, then it's really a good thing.
Yeah. Either that or they're all bullshit and they're not going to send you money.
Right.
So the next time I do it, that's what I end up with. Yeah. So John R. Powers, they told me that they wanted $3,000 or something to get pictures taken.
Oh wow!
Yeah. To get your comp card. To get started, you need to spend this much. And I was like, my
niece, I took her to a place. I'm not going to say what place because I don't want to be sued. I love everyone. But no. Oh no! You didn't say the name of it, did you? Oh, don't worry, don't answer that. Anyway, but I took her to a place and they were like $1,500, so it's like half of that. Yeah. Same way, to invest, like you have to get pictures and you have to get everything started and all that type of stuff. But and the honest thing is, I know a lot of actors and singers that actually went through that agency and became stars. So just like whatever place you went to, I'm sure that they probably did have the ability, but you know what they say, like you gotta spend money to make money, and they wanted big money. So it was like a little bit of money. They didn't want our little dollars, To start from the bottom. Can you just like take a payment plan?
I'm just here.
Like we need a payment plan. Right. Once we get there, then we can get $4,000. This is a really good investment. I'm just trying to tell you,
that is no better investment.
You got to tell yourself to them, like, listen, this is a really good investment. Did you sing and all that?
No, I didn't at the time. I was playing violin and piano.
Okay.
At that point, and that's actually what I went to school for, was music education.
Oh, okay.
And so after when I was doing all that, then I just kind of went back to school after I realized that it was going to be so expensive. So,
yeah. Okay. So are you from here in Maryland?
Yes, I am. I grew up around here, about halfway between Baltimore and DC.
Okay.
So just far enough out of DC that it's in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, okay. I hear that.
Okay. Yeah, we've got like cows for neighbors and stuff. It's
wow. Wow, that has to be beautiful. Yeah, that's a blessing. Yeah, definitely. To be, I'm a country girl, so I love that. I definitely. I was like, let me get close to the country. I'm from North Carolina, so we came up here, and I'm like, oh, let me get back close to the country.
Yeah.
So I
some trees in my yard. Yeah.
Right, and the green grass and the nice skies.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess out there with the cows, you get to see beautiful skies and the sun and all that good stuff every morning. So, okay, so before, I don't even know what our time check is right now because my producer has left the building. Okay, yeah, so we're good. I don't know, I hope so. But before we go, I guess I'll tell you guys a little bit about what I personally think a woman wants. Y'all
yes,
ready?
please.
Are you ready?
I would love to hear it.
Yeah, you guys are like, what does Beyonka think a woman wants? And they will put down there like, let me get this list ready because Beyonka wants a lot. But I think not just Beyonka, but I think a woman looks for a man who can offer stability within himself as well as within her. Yeah. You know, and not just stability financially, but stability in every way. You know, a woman doesn't want to be with someone who she feels like is not stable enough emotionally. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, if you have that conversation, for an example, if you meet someone and you have a conversation with them and instantly within that conversation, they're getting angry and they're starting to talk about like a situation that, oh my gosh, this is a perfect example. You're having a conversation with someone, right? And you're like, yeah, like I really don't like that. And then the guy is like, see what I'm saying? All y'all women are just the same. All of you women are the same. And then meet, you don't even know this person that well. Like you guys just met. Yeah. And then that's an immediate response. That's not stable. That's not stability. Yeah. So, you know, I think women just want to be able to enter a relationship with someone who can offer some stability. You know, the man is the leader in the household. And that's not just Beyonka's words. Like that's, you know, how it is from the beginning of time. You know, that whole, you know, I love Adam and Eve. And there was Adam and then God created Eve and he created Eve for Adam. So I'm still with that whole thing. And I just believe, like, you know, when a woman gets with a man, she's looking for him to be her Adam. You know, that strong man that can, you know, just give her the things that a woman wants.
I feel like emotional stability is a big one for me.
Definitely.
And a lot of that to me is being able to focus on the positive.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people you meet out here will just be so negative and will always be wanting to talk shit or like talk about people or complain. People who talk about how tired they are all the time and those people they're
complaining all the time is the worst, you know. So
I want
if you're in complaining mode, then you're not ready.
I want somebody who's gonna choose to be happy on the day to day. To like choose to wake up and say like, oh, it's like,
oh my gosh, that is so important.
Rather than like I have to go work.
Oh my gosh, the positive is extremely important. I'm going to say for Beyonka, positivity is extremely important. To be positive about everything. I mean, of course, you need to address situations. You know, situations.
There's always a way to look at it.
There's always a way to look at it. So being angry and argumentative. Ugly. Those are not what a woman wants. I can tell you that, at least not this one. Yeah, no. Being positive, having stability. Men, I think nowadays, they kind of take when a woman says, like, I want a man that has a job. I want a man that has a car. I want a man that has his own place. To be a woman that is trying to be a gold digger. But again, that's a woman who wants a man who has stability. And knowing that man has a car, he has a job, that he has a place to live. That means that man is not pursuing you because he's looking for a place to stay. He's not pursuing you because he's looking for a ride. He's not pursuing you because he's looking for you to pay his bills, because he's already taken care of all of that within himself. So he's stable financially, and
he's emotionally stable enough to hold down a job.
There you go. If his boss is
payments on the car, if there's things that are implied.
Exactly. Right.
Those are the important things.
Extremely important. Right. And then I got a comment once from a guy after a show, and he was saying like, well, if a man doesn't have a car, that doesn't make him a bad person. Absolutely not. No, it does not make him a bad person. However, if a man doesn't have a car and he's calling a woman for a ride, then I'm questioning his stability, because even if a man doesn't have a car, then he should be able to take care of himself. Like, well, let me catch the bus, let me catch an Uber, let me get Lyft, let me get a taxi cab, let me catch a hack. You provide yourself with the transportation, but if you don't have transportation and you're looking for the woman to provide transportation before you, then you are not stable. So I'm not saying that a man has to have a car, but you have to be able to have stability to be able to get you right. Tell him, baby, right? Take care of yourself. That's extremely important. That's extremely important. So I'm gonna say a woman wants a man who has that type of stability to where he's definitely taking care of himself and not looking for a woman to take care of him. That was probably number 2 on the list, or number 1, I don't know. But and then the last thing for me, as far as what a woman wants, is a woman wants, and it's not the last thing, it's gonna cover like a couple things in one real quick. But a woman wants to be acknowledged, to be adored, to be appreciated, to be considered. That's really important. Like, consider me in your decision making. Consider how I feel when you talk to me. Be considerate about, what you're saying to me. You know what I mean? Be considerate. If you're gonna acknowledge me, just make sure you're making
my feelings.
Yes, we are emotional creatures. Like, we're emotional. So either you're gonna get the good emotional where we're just like, oh baby, or you're gonna get the bad emotional where we're gonna be like, oh, the fuck you ain't with, like, you're gonna get either good or bad. Either way, God created women to be emotional creatures. So, and I embrace my emotions. Y'all see me on Facebook sometimes, Terry. I don't care. I embrace these emotions because God gave them to me. However, just guys, men, you should be aware that we are emotional creatures. So being considerate and compassionate to how we feel, how you address us, how you approach us is all important. So a woman wants a man who has those qualities, who maintain those qualities, not having that, and not going into a situation the same way men don't want women coming into a situation instantly feeling like, oh, it's the same as the last situation. I don't think we want that either. No. We don't want a man coming to us like, oh, well, my last girlfriend cheated on me and she ain't cooked and she ain't do all that. I hope you ain't the same. You're a little angry. Yeah. You still worried about that? You still worried about that? Like, you're not even with her anymore. Well, she's not here. She's not here. So, you're so right. She's so funny, right? Like, I'm right here. Like, are you about to have a flashback? Exactly. Be careful. And gentlemen, if you're dating somebody and they continue to have flashbacks and get angry when they have those flashbacks, that's one of those red lights go off in your head. Like, you know what? This might not be the situation for me.
Not only are they not over their last person, but they also don't. That they don't get over stuff well. Anyway. And it's not funny that you're not processing your pain, but these are real things. These are real life issues. These things you really happen. Forgive, especially when it's not like hurting the person for you not to forgive.
Exactly. When the person has moved on and then you're still going through it.
Yeah, hurt yourself and hurt
yourself. Yes. So I would just say to put on a list of those things of what a woman wants. Those are just my thoughts. Those are Gabby's thoughts as to what a woman wants in a relationship. And I say you should take it into consideration because Beyonka knows what she's talking about. So you need to take notes because I know what I'm talking about.
We have thought a lot about what we want.
We've been through some things.
So we can tell you.
Exactly. Earlier we were talking about testimonies, right? Like that testimonies, like God will put you through things in order for you to be able to learn from your mistakes and then talk to other women and encourage other people. So we've gone through some things to where we finally got to a place in our life
about what we want.
Exactly.
What we need.
Exactly. And what we need. So I hope you guys learned a lot tonight from Beyonka's Playhouse, and I hope you guys got familiar with Miss Gabby.
Thank you so much for having me.
I truly appreciate you coming. I love having you. Hopefully you'll be another guest and come back. And I'll definitely, definitely try to get her into these fashion shows and events that I'm doing that are coming up, because I definitely need some more beautiful models. I haven't even done the model call yet, but I will be doing the model call soon. I'm trying to determine the date. But we have a lot of fun things coming up with Beyonka's Playhouse, and I would love to have you be a part of them.
I would love to be a part.
So you guys, I will be posting Miss Gabby's pictures on my page and things that she does. So from time to time, you'll see Miss Gabby's work on Beyonka's Playhouse page, and definitely. So please support her. Please, just kind of hit that like or that love button.
My album is going to be available December 3rd.
And her album, December the 3rd. I can't wait. I'm like excited.
Yeah, I'll send you.
Yeah, please do. So definitely check out her album, December the 3rd. It'll be out. And of course, Beyonka would not let you forget that. Of course, post it as well when it comes out. Support her music. I don't know, do you want to give them a little taste of something before we go?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll just give you a little bit.
Maybe a minute. Do your thing. This is your floor for you right now.
I've been spitting that potential. It don't really mean shit to me. Y'all don't know what's up. My mouth is wet and my eyes are free. Everything before me is just a sunny sky. Like hanging with them demons, seeing angels who cry. Joy and jealousy at this thing that I do. At the shit that I create that I make you feel like you. Pull you at the current. I hope you don't mind. This beat will get inside you and it's always from behind. I'll blow you away. Even as I pull you in. And I know you're gonna come over to my light, out the dark and in for the love. Whoa, for the love.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh, you blew me away for a That was beautiful. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, and I can tell you wrote that it was really good.
Thanks. Yeah, that's gonna be my single. That's For the Love.
For the Love. Such a beautiful voice, and the lyrics are awesome.
Thank you so much.
I can't wait to December 3rd.
I can't wait for you to hear it.
I can't wait either. So you guys, make sure you guys are following Miss Gabby. You want to tell them how they can follow you on Instagram and social media?
Absolutely. I'm here on Facebook. My music page is called Your Friend Gabby. Your Friend Gabbi. That's Gabby with an I. And then I'm on Instagram more. You can get all my pictures on there. And that's Gabrielle Marie B _. So that's GABRIELLE Marie MARIE B as in Bravo _ Yeah, and then that's me, Gabrielle Marie B.
Okay. Yeah. And that's Instagram. So do you have a YouTube page?
You know what? I do, but I don't remember the name of it because I don't have.
I'll post it up. Don't worry. Let me tell you something. One of the things I do for my guests is I definitely get them set up where they have all of their social medias and things going, because we want to make sure people know you.
Yeah.
People can find your music.
Yeah.
And people can support you. Support is everything, people. So I'll make sure that when we leave, we get that YouTube page and everything together so that I can post it on Beyonka's Playhouse. And you guys, as I tell you, it's always, please go and subscribe. So when the show ends, I'll post all of her information. And you guys, please go follow her on Instagram. Follow her on Facebook. Go like her fan page. And again, I'll put all the information on Facebook. And for you guys watching via YouTube, I'll also put the information there for you guys as well. I would love for you guys to support her. Okay, we have one comment.
Sorry, can't say you better sing, honey.
Yeah, wasn't that awesome?
She said, love the lyrics. And Sibo Kellum said, what's her IG? I want to hear more.
Okay, so I'm gonna post it in the after the show. I'll be posting it on my page. So I might even post it in the comments just so that you guys can definitely get all of her information and that you guys can follow and stay tuned because I want to hear more too. I was just like, wait, it ended? It was so good. I'm also having a birthday party, Beyonka's Playhouse birthday bash. And so if you'd like to perform, you're more than welcome to come and perform.
I would love to.
Yeah, I'm going to be there.
That's September the 9th.
Awesome.
So I definitely will put down for you, definitely come and perform. That would be awesome. Yes. So you see I'm building, right? You guys see I'm building connection, relationships. Yeah.
I love it.
So you guys know what I need you all to do. I hope you have shared the show and invited some of your friends. If you haven't, take this opportunity now to invite some of your friends. Inviting friends allows us to build the crowd and allows us to have more and more people see Beyonka's Playhouse as well as see Miss Gabby here tonight. Go to YouTube once the show is over and subscribe to my YouTube account. It would be so appreciated. The YouTube is Akira Queen. That's you see my name on there, Akira. Akira Queen on YouTube. I'll post that in the comments as well. And subscribe. You'll see a lot of different videos that'll be posted, after show videos and all kind of stuff that'll be on the YouTube that you don't see all the time here on Facebook. Also on Facebook for YouTubers, you can go to Beyonka's Playhouse and you can kindly hit that like button and follow my page of Beyonka's Playhouse. And for the both of you, YouTube and Facebook, please go to Instagram and follow me on Instagram at Beyonka's Playhouse. That's Beyonka's _Playhouse on Instagram. I'm also on Snapchat at Bays Playhouse. That's BEYS _Playhouse. And for those who are already following me on Snapchat, you might be saying to yourself right now as I make this announcement, girl, I don't even see you on Snapchat. Don't worry, honey. I will be on there making some funny posts and doing some things on Snapchat. Are you on Snapchat, Gabby?
I am on Snapchat.
What's your Snap?
My Snap is Original Gabby. Like OG.
Okay. OG Gabby. OG Gabby. I love it.
Gabby, yeah.
Original Gabby.
Gabby with an I.
With an I. Gabby with an I.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to post all that good stuff after the show so that you guys can follow Gabby, follow me, and continue to support Beyonka's Playhouse. I truly appreciate each and every one of you who took the time tonight to watch Beyonka's Playhouse. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your shares. Thank you for your likes. And for just taking the time to just have this conversation with me and Miss Gabby. Please continue to support Beyonka's Playhouse. We'll be back on Tuesday, and it's Temptation Tuesday. I have absolutely no idea exactly what I'm going to be talking about yet, but just make sure you're there Tuesday.
It'll be tempting.
It'll be tempting. Just make sure you guys are there Tuesday at 9 o'clock. All right, see you guys later. Good night.